Hi guys, in this video I'm going to talk about the single easiest passive income stream out there that only takes 5 minutes to set up and is entirely risk-free, and that is the high interest rate savings account. Every month I make around £150 from high interest rate savings accounts, which isn't bad considering it's entirely passive and requires minimal effort to get set up. So first I'm going to dive into what exactly a high interest rate savings account is, then I'm going to discuss why you should have one before revealing which ones I currently use. So what is a high interest rate savings account? Well, it's exactly what it says on the tin really. It's a savings account that offers higher interest compared to that of your regular current account. Higher interest rates mean it earns you more money, which makes it a better form of passive income. Now you might be asking, what exactly is passive income? Passive income is money you earn that's not directly tied to the amount of time you put in. Active income on the other hand is directly tied to the amount of time you put in. An example of this would be, say you work in retail. You get paid a national minimum wage, which is £10.42 an hour. That would be classified as active income. For every hour of your time that you spend working, in exchange you'll receive £10.42. An example of passive income would be if you're a musician and you released a new song. Every time somebody listened to your song on Spotify, you would receive a small royalty. The amount of money you would earn would be entirely dependent on the amount of people listening to your music, as opposed to the amount of hours you put into creating the music. So now that we're more familiar with passive income and what a high interest rate savings account is, why should you have one? Well, if you crunch the numbers, it doesn't really make sense not to have one. Say you've got £10,000 saved in a regular current account or a savings account, you can expect the interest rate to be incredibly low, in the 0.1 to 0.5% region. That means that in 1 year, you would earn about £10 from that account. Now, if you put that money into a higher interest rate account with a rate of say 5%, you'd earn far higher, around £500, which isn't bad considering it's totally risk-free. But how can it be entirely risk-free? Well, all the major banks in the UK are regulated by the FCA, which is the Financial Conduct Authority. They offer customers protection on up to £85,000, which means any amount of money under £85,000 can't just disappear. If anything does happen, say the bank goes bust, the government steps in and makes sure that you're able to get your money back. Not only are high interest accounts risk-free, but they're also tax-free as well. If you're a basic rate taxpayer and you earn under about £50,000, then the interest you earn on the first £1,000 is tax-free. This is reduced to £500 if you're a higher rate taxpayer who earns between £50,000 to £150,000. But I'm sure if you're earning £150,000, you're not going to be bothered too much. Now, the final reason to get a high interest savings account is to prevent the value of your money getting eroded away by inflation. Within the last 12 months, inflation has been as high as 6.9%, which is the highest it's ever been since 1991. That means pretty much anything costs 6.9% more than it did last year. So if last year you had your money sitting in a regular savings account, getting 0.1 to 0.5% interest, over the last 12 months that £10 that you made wouldn't be anywhere near enough to cover the amount of value your money has lost in real terms. By taking out 5 minutes to set up a high interest rate savings account, you're protecting your money and offsetting the amount you would lose out to inflation. Before we go into which high interest rate savings accounts are the best for you, just want to introduce myself. My name's Azim. I'm a project manager with a passion for all things business, finance and making money. If you've enjoyed this video or found it informative, please do leave a like and make sure to subscribe. Now, there are 4 different types of savings accounts, and the one that is most suited for you is entirely dependent on your circumstance. The general idea is the longer you lock your money away into an account, the higher the interest rate you will get. Easy access savings accounts pay the least amount of interest. Usually they pay around 1%. However, due to inflation, rates have risen significantly and you can get around 5% at the moment. Easy access accounts are great if you're saving for something in the short term, as you're able to take the money out as and when you need it. It is important to note that the rates for these accounts are variable and can change on a regular basis. Next are notice accounts. To withdraw your money from these accounts, you're required to provide advance notice to the bank. Notice can be from 30 days up to 120 days. You're rewarded for having your money inaccessible with a slightly higher interest rate. You can expect between 5.5% to 6% at the top end, and then finally you have the fixed rate savings accounts. Unlike notice or easy access accounts, the interest rates offered here are fixed. They won't change for the specified duration, typically between 1 to 3 years. These accounts are ideal for those looking to plan ahead, long term, and won't need access to their money in the near future. Currently you're looking at getting 6% on a fixed rate account. However, it is worth noting that there is normally a larger variance in the interest rates across the different types of accounts, but due to increasing inflation that variance has been significantly reduced. I would expect that once inflation's under control, the variable rates for notice and easy access savings accounts will drop significantly. Now what I do is have my money split in the bank across the easy access and fixed rate accounts. In my easy access accounts I have around 3 months worth of expenses that I can tap into at any time in case of an emergency. I then invest a portion of my income into a fixed rate option. I've opted for a 12-month fix. When deciding what account to open and with which bank, I recommend taking a trip down to moneysavingexpert.com. They aggregate all the best deals and it's where I was able to find both my easy access and fixed saver accounts. My current account is with Coventry Building Society with a rate of 5.2% and my fixed account is with Synergy Bank at 5.95%. It's important to note that there is no limit on the amount of accounts you can have, and I've changed my accounts a bunch of times to always make sure that I'm getting the best rates available. By having this foundation in place, it does allow me to take further risks with the rest of my money, which I invest in the stock market and into business. I'll be doing videos on that in the future, but for those of you that want to play it safe in these uncertain times, the high interest rate savings accounts currently available are a great way to get you started.